we are here in the Illinois State Police Firearms Service Bureau and want to walk you through the registration process for the Illinois State Police Firearms Service webpage, which will get you to where the FOID application, concealed carry, etc. would be. So before you start the registration process, you need to get your driver's license and your FOID card if you do have one already issued, or if it's expired, have that information, those documents in front of you before we start on the webpage. Just as a reminder, the application and the registration process are two separate things. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the registration process, and we'll do an application video here shortly. So the Illinois State Police Firearms Service Bureau website is ispfsb.com. It's going to bring you to this screen here, which has the FOID card, concealed carry, etc. Go to the enter, and it's going to ask you if you have a smartphone or a tablet, and they would remind you that it's best to use it on a laptop or a desktop and not on those two forms. So this here is for people that already have an account. But if you have not registered yet at this point, this is where we need to go. So register now. There's 3 steps for the registration process. The first one that you're going to do is enter your name and your date of birth. It's last name only. So last name, date of birth, re-enter your last name and date of birth, and you're going to create a new user ID. This user ID is going to be unique to you, and as well as your password. This information is something that you're going to be utilizing in order to use these services. So I would definitely write this stuff down, save it in a lockbox, a safe, somewhere where you're going to be able to have access to that and that you won't forget it. User ID, email address, this is where they'll do correspondence with you if they have an issue. Create your password, confirm it, and it's going to ask you a series of 4 security questions. The 4 security questions, there's drop boxes, and you can answer those, and this is if you need to reset something, reset a password, the Firearms Service Bureau will be able to verify who you are. You're going to click on the I'm Not a Robot. A series of pictures will pop up. You can click on those, and then you go to the next tab. I've already set it up here so that the next tab is set up here for you. On this next page is where it's critical that your information on your driver's license matches this here. So last name, first name, middle initial, maiden last name, any previous names. The previous names can include a maiden name, a former married name. That information will be entered next, as well as your date of birth and your eye color as it matches on your driver's license. Enter your primary phone number, and then the state ID. Illinois, obviously, whether it's a driver's license or a state ID, that number that's on that card, and then your weight as it's displayed on your driver's license. This here is where a lot of people are getting tricked up. That weight, if you are 200 pounds, list 200 pounds. Do not list 206 or 207. It has to be what your driver's license says. So that number needs to be matched up. The next thing it's going to ask is if you are a current firearm card owner. And if you are, it's going to ask you a yes or no. And those drop-down tablets, the yes, if you know what your FOID card number is, it's going to ask you to enter that, and you can use that off your number in front of you. If it's not, when you hit the next button and you finish, the Firearms Service Bureau has to do a little bit more verification, and they will notify you via email once that information is complete. So once you get to that next page, obviously I have fictitious stuff, so I'm not going to do that here. But once you get that completed, they'll give you a registration, user registration information. They're going to print that out here up on the screen. You can write that down, take a picture of it, and then that way at that point you are registered. So then the application process is something completely different. That's where you will enter, the payments and different information for actual FOID card or concealed carry. So this is just the registration information. We'll be completing some more videos after this. Thank you.